Good evening. Tonight ABC Sporting presents to you our replay of the 1978-79 NTFL League Grand Final played between St Mary's and Nightcliff, and a tremendous grand final it was indeed. The format of the program will be edited highlights showing you all of the goals scored in the first half. This will be followed by the entire second half. The League Grand Final 78-79 between St Mary's and Nightcliff. Here we are ready for the start of the 78-79 Grand Final here at Gardens Oval. Ball with umpire Brimson in the centre. There's the initial bounce. The players are jostling. Tapped down by Haystratton of Saints, cleared by Leo Roach of Nightcliff. Down towards a brilliant mark by Lauritsen of St Mary's at centre half-back. Going back to his kick. There's a huge crowd here in attendance and the atmosphere is very high, as can be expected. Kick by Lauritsen down towards St Mary's right half forward. Almost held by Nightcliff on the ground. The mark has been paid, and that's to Elkins of Nightcliff, relieving pressure on the half-back flank for Nightcliff. He passes across very neatly and taken by Johnson of Nightcliff, about centre half-back. Long kick by Johnson, nobody marks. On the ground, players battling for it. A flick by Perkins of St Mary's, quick handball, looking for Menzel, although not driven down towards St Mary's left half forward flank. A quick handball finds Wanganeen, bursting through, snapped by Wanganeen. First goal for the 1978-79 Grand Final, kicked by Kevin Wanganeen of St Mary's. Alan Oates, the Nightcliff captain, has the ball almost in the centre of the ground. Down towards centre half forward for Nightcliff, but a strong mark taken there by Anderson. St Mary's in the centre half back position for St Mary's. There's Anderson's kick. Up towards the centre of the ground. Oates sets himself again, but the mark taken very nicely by Liddy, St Mary's wingman, brilliant young player. Short pass, looking for Graham, finds him. Michael Graham of St Mary's, in between wing and right half forward. Drives down towards the full forward area. Players set themselves, nobody takes it. Menzel has the ball from the pack. Quick handball over to Graham. Graham takes it, runs, kicks. Off target, 1 point. St Mary's go to 1-2, 8 points, and Nightcliff yet to score. Boundary umpire has the ball now. Oates and Haystratton. There's the tap down, indecisive, on the ground, picked up by Liddy for St Mary's. Menzel tries to get it, but on the ground, and he's given away a free kick to David Perris, who looks for big brother Greg, finds him in the middle of the ground. Greg Perez turns round, unleashes one of his mighty kicks, goes towards the full forward area. White for Nightcliff nearly holds it, but picked up by Motlop, who on the burst breaks through and left foots Nightcliff's first goal for the match. Umpire Grimston has found a free kick, and that will go to Faulkner of Nightcliff. He's on the left wing position, in between left wing and half forward for Nightcliff. He'll drive it right down to the full forward area. There's his kick, going to the full forward square. A good mark taken there by Crawshaw. And he's usually a pretty reliable kick for goal. Experienced player, ex-Nightcliff captain. There he goes. And yes, no mistake. 2 straight goals to Nightcliff. Second one kicked by Mike Crawshaw. They now lead St Mary's. Nightcliff are 2 straight goals, 12 points, leading St Mary's 1 goal, 2-8.
Who's he going to look for here? He'll go long down to the ground looking for Haystratton, who's over there at centre half forward. They've got the sun in their eyes. Haystratton jumps high, can't get through. It's Teddy Liddy. He's had many, many touches already. On to Wilson. This will be a goal. Yes, he's gone for it, and it's right through. That's the experience of Wilbur Wilson from Central Districts.
It was a very good goal by Wilbur Wilson. There's the bounce by umpire Brimson. Haystratton taps down. Steele picks up, goes for the handball, then decides to have a short kick on the ground. Nobody in particular. Nightcliff players everywhere. Finally picked up by Roach. Paul Roach, I believe. Drives down towards centre half forward for Nightcliff. But, however, there's Rioli in the way for St Mary's. He's at centre half back for St Mary's. There's his long kick. Down towards centre half forward for St Mary's. Steele flies, can't get it on the ground. There's Wilbur Wilson again, a quick handball away, but Greg Perris grabs it, boots a big one down to Nightcliff's centre half forward position on the ground. Davey chasing it. But he can't pick it up. It's handballed away by Sullivan and out of bounds, almost in the centre wing position and there'll be a boundary throw in.
This time it's Ryan, but it's Xavier Clark who comes over the top, tapping the ball out in front. My word, there would have been a nice body clash there if Menzel had a caught up there with Motlop, but fortunately for both players it was a miss. It's interesting to note there, the wind is favouring the Nightcliff end, and it's St Mary's that are doing most of the scoring, right? Tap, beautiful tap by Oates. You saw it there on your screen. Tapped it over to Davey, who is now taken away. He'll go long down towards, but it'll be Xavier Clark again who'll come in and spoil over the top. Patrick Perkins recovers, takes the long kick down to, on this far centre position there where it's Matt Still, handballs out to Corrie. St Mary's have got it wide open here. Yes, he's got around that player. Who's he going to look for? He's gone long down looking for Capel on the flank, and he's got it. Very, very intelligent pass by Corrie. Took it right into the far pocket, and sitting under it was Capel, who certainly has the capability to kick this goal. Gone for the long kick, and it looks good from here.
Oh,
Didn't
mark
make
in the
this
square.
distance, but there's none other.
Chester.
And Chester right in front. Cannot possibly miss this one. A very strong mark from Chester. In fact, he almost flew alone. I don't know whether there was Chapman and who's the other player on the mark. Leo Roach may not have been talking to each other there. No, sorry, it was Jimmy Johnson who stood the mark.
St Mary's 3-4, leading Nightcliff 2-1. Latter stages of the first quarter. There's the throw in. Oates tries to tap down, misses the ball. Graham, a quick slash at the ball, tries to get it to Wanganeen, doesn't do so. Here's Liddy having a brilliant game. Grabbed this time, however, still going for the ball, and it trickles out of bounds. No, umpire Brimson has found a free kick. Liddy was being pursued too closely by the Nightcliff players, and he deserved that free. He's a fair way out, however, on the right half-forward flank. There's his kick. It's going into the goal square. Big pack flies. Nobody marks. It'll be cleared by Motlop for Nightcliff. Up towards Saints' left half-forward flank, where it's grabbed by Corrie, but no, out of bounds. So out of bounds, left half-forward flank for St Mary's. There's the throw-in. Oates is there, and he's on his own. Dear me, where were the Saints ruckmans? He naturally grabs the ball, kicks it away, back towards the centre. Bounces. Greg Perris has it. Turns. Gets on his big booming right foot. Down it goes. Right forward. Oh, White. Oh, brilliant play. Brilliant play. Martin White, Nightcliff full forward. Clever play to snap through a goal. His first for the game.
Yes, he broke clear there from Xavier Clark. Actually, Peter, I noticed there that Lawrence Rioli, he got dropped there about 5 minutes into the quarter there, and he laid motionless for at least 3 or 4 minutes before the Saints officials got to him, and he looks groggy. The way that he approached Ty was rather Perris, who got away from him, who moved the ball down to White, and White, ducking his head, got through Xavier Clark, and he could have run right through and just dribbled it right through. Well, that's the telling factor, that White has now got away from Xavier Clark for his first goal. And of course, St Mary's 3-4, only just leading Nightcliff 3-1. Well, there it is, back at the centre bounce there. Players desperately trying to get the ball away. Dempsey letting the ball go now. Long tap by Oates. Bickley and Lauritsen both fighting it out. But it's Bickley front position. Umpires usually play the man in the front, and it's Bickley who'll get the kick away down to put Nightcliff well into attack. Crawshaw, he's got the front position, but he can't hold it. Xavier Clark again. And it's Mick Diorio who's allowed to play straight on. It's Xavier Clark breaking away with that long raking run of his, looking for Liddy. It's down low. He'll break away once again from Perris. Caught. Very, very strong play, Teddy. Teddy Leaders must be at least up to his 10th or 11th kick. Ty breaks in, shows his class, plays on, overruns the ball. Oh, it's a bad mistake there. He had the whole run. It's Graham. He's beaten 4 Nightcliff players. Long handball to March. He's in trouble. It's Elkins who's got him, but he's given away a free right there in front of you on your screen. And of course, March will go back and take an attacking kick. Wilson by himself, all by himself, but unfortunately March wasn't quick. He'll go along for Chester. Chester giving a lead here now. Coming in, it's Wilson in front. He'll take the mark. No, can't hold it. Wanganeen, short one looking for Chester, and he's got it. At this stage, Nightcliff backmen are not using the same pressure that we've become accustomed to, and Chester just unmarked after that, taking that mark. He just runs straight through and puts through a very, very easy goal for his second goal for the match. And Saints move on to a greater lead there. Peter, what have they opened up to now?
There are 4 goals for, which would be 28 points, leading Nightcliff 3 goals, 19 points. Yes, that was an easy goal to Chester, then a very experienced player, of course, and that was good play by Wilson in particular. Got the ball down to him, and he did the rest. Centre bounce by umpire Brimson. Nobody really gets it away. March, a handball down, but Elkins relieves for Nightcliff. to centre half forward for Nightcliff, and a strong mark taken by Bickley, who's having a very strong tussle with Lauritsen there. Bickley won out that time. Strong mark. There's the kick. To the full forward. White flies, can't hold it. Man behind the pack was Crawshaw, I believe, but he couldn't hold it. On the ground, we're finding a free kick here by umpire Dempsey.
This is a courageous decision by Dempsey. He's found that Clark interfered with Martin White when they both went for the ball. Can't say I agree with it. Interesting if we could pick that up on a replay, but nevertheless, you can't change the umpire's decision there. And White must get this goal because whilst the wind perhaps is not favouring us in as much as it was earlier, it seems to have been the scoring end all day. There's White deliberately lining up for a drop punt. Coming in, executes it. Yes, it's a perfect kick, and it's right through the centre for those valuable 6 points. Neither side able to gain the important advantage in ruck. It's Hay Stratton and Oates, and of course the smaller men nullifying each other, which is good in finals football. There's the long handball out to David Peris, who does a short pass to Mark Motlop, and he'll steady it up. Patrick Perkins being warned there and shown by Mark Motlop that keep your elbow down. Motlop's coming in, he'll have to go for the long one. There's no lead. Going down long, Harold Anderson in front will chest it, and he's certainly marked a safe mark there to Anderson, who's had an extremely good season this year. He's going across goal, dangerous if it's not accurate, but he's found Damien Ryan. He'll go back now and take it straight down the wing, or down the centre. No, he's gone long down to the wing. Corrie should be in front. It's Roach coming over the back as Elkins. A great mark, Paul Elkins, very, very strong. He'll go in very long, looking for White. White versus Clark, who'll have it, and it's White who out-bodied Xavier Clark beautifully. Held him behind him, held him down, and he's gone for short kick looking for Diorio. And Diorio's going to play straight on, looking for the goal, and there it is. One feature of the game here that we noticed, players seem to relax once the ball moves away from their area, and in finals that is absolutely fatal. Far too often we see a player being allowed to play on, and I just wonder whether these players have had time to settle down as yet.
This is right, Tony, I agree, but that gives the lead back to Nightcliff. They now lead, or gives it to Nightcliff rather. They have had it once before. They're now leading 5-1-31 to St Mary's 4-4-28, only 3 points, and of course there's a long way to go yet. We must be getting towards the end of the first quarter by now. There's the centre bounce by umpire Brimson. Hay Stratton the tap, but a free has been found by umpire Dempsey. It'll go to Hay Stratton. He was interfered with. There's his kick, a wobbly, terrible old kick. Down to the right half forward flank for Saints. Oh, good, Jimmy's racing for it, and he's lightning fast, this bloke, but not that time. The ball beat him out of bounds, and a little bit of hustle-bustle being given there by Gibson of Nightcliff, but that's what grand finals are about. There's the throw-in. Ruckman go to it on the ground. Wanganeen and Menzel. Ties there for Nightcliff. Nobody's got it yet. Oh, they're bursting through. Davey for Nightcliff comes through with the ball, but he's pushed off it by Liddy. Beautiful piece of play by Liddy. He snaps across looking for Graham. On the ground. Graham going. Nobody gets it. Several players busting. Lightning handball to Graham. Michael Graham snaps. Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal by Michael Graham. Here we are ready to start the second quarter of the NTFL 78-79 Grand Final. End of the first quarter, St Mary's led Nightcliff by 3 points, 5-4-34 to Nightcliff 5-1-31, and that's how we stand right now. There's the first bounce of the second quarter. Big tap by Hay Stratton, picked up by Perez. Quick handball across there and driven down to Nightcliff's right half forward flank. Mark nearly taken, but on the ground. Diorio couldn't hold that one, but it's Bickley who picks up and kicks down towards the full forward area, and umpire Brimston has picked up a free kick to Martin White, the Nightcliff full forward. He's already kicked 2 goals, and this could well be his third. He's on an angle, as you can see, but not all that difficult an angle, and not all that far out. Probably no more than 30 to 35 metres. He's a very reliable kick for goal. Here he goes. We'll wait on him. Looks good. Looks good. And the third goal to Michael White. The ball driven in there now by Wilbur Wilson towards the full forward area, but that was Faulkner of Nightcliff in the way. Strong mark. Right in the back pocket for Nightcliff. He'll go back for his kick to relieve the pressure. There he goes. Up towards the half-back flank position for Nightcliff. Hay Stratton couldn't hold it on the ground. Quick handball away to Peter March. He dives and weaves, but he's blocked. Can't get it away. Oh, another handball there by Hoffner. And this is Motlop racing away from the centre. Drives down towards centre half forward for Nightcliff. Crawshaw nearly handles it. Couldn't do it. Handball away by Saints. They're racing for the ball. Perkins going for it to the boundary. He's taken over the boundary. In fact, he's almost thrown into the crowd. That was not really necessary by Bickley. And we have a bit of drastic action here going on. Players getting very heated. Fortunately, the long arms of the law are there, Tony, amongst other things, and I believe that things will simmer down.
It's unusual to see the police there breaking it up, but certainly their presence is felt, and it's welcome at this stage. I think it was Patrick Perkins. He didn't agree with the Nightcliff player who threw him around unnecessarily after the ball had gone out of bounds.
Yes,
and perhaps it's just as well there that the umpires held up the opening part of this quarter to remove those kiddies, because there were some sitting there and it would have been extremely dangerous.
Yes, that's true, Tony. Yes, just one of those things that happened in the heat of the moment, and of course there's a tremendous amount of pressure in a grand final. The difference being only 1 point. Nightcliff 6-1, St Mary's 5-6. Boundary throw in front of the new grandstand. There it is. They set themselves. Oates gets the tap down behind him. Taken by Ty. Handball to Davey. Davey streaks, walks, kicks. Goldwards. White is there. Takes the mark. And that was a brilliant mark. It looked a certain stop there for St Mary's by Xavier Clark, but White came from nowhere. Took the mark in front of him, and there he is on very much the same angle that he was a moment ago. He's got 3 goals already. A little bit of gentle relieving interference there by Kevin Wanganeen, but that has moved White in closer. And he could not possibly miss this goal, I wouldn't think.
That was incredible, Peter, that a player with experience of Wanganeen would come up and interfere with a player when he's lining up, and he's given away another 15 metres and he couldn't possibly miss.
And he doesn't.
He hasn't missed. That's his 4th goal for the match. It's interesting to note that the play is seesawing between half forward and half back lines. There it is, long down looking for Chester. Can't mark it. It's Michael Graham in front. I'd imagine he'll get the free. He's got the front position, and Les Chapman, trying to get control of the ball, has given away a free. Michael Graham within shooting distance. His leg, as you can see there, very heavily bandaged. Didn't train very hard at training on Thursday night. Coming in for the long
that was
kick.
Lauritsen for St Mary's who was felled. He's on his feet now.
Gone for the long kick there. There's no one can take it, and there it's socked through by Chester. Very, very quick thinking by Cole Chester, and that's his 3rd goal for the match. So it's an interesting move there. It's played off perhaps for St Mary's. There's 3 goals from their spearhead, which they haven't had in previous games. And of course, matched against that is Martin White for Nightcliff, who has 4 goals. St Mary's now move up to 6 goals 6. Nightcliff 7 goals 1. And it's still a very, very close, tight game. Only 1 point the difference.
Absolutely nothing in it, Tony, yes. 7-1 Nightcliff, 43 points. St Mary's 6-6, 42. Lauritsen of Saints, who was felled very heavily a moment ago, is back in his position now. There's the centre bounce by umpire Dempsey. Into a tie for Nightcliff after it. Liddy battling him. There's Jimmy. Couldn't get it. It's on the ground. Being battled for by a heap of players. There's Jimmy again for Saints. He's tackled, and I think we'll get the free. Yes, he does. Jimmy for St Mary's. He's on the exact centre wing position, right centre wing, and he'll put Saints into attack again. They trail Nightcliff by 1 point. There's his kick. Looking for Stratton. Finds him on the right half forward flank. He goes back for his kick. Big lanky ruckman has had a very good season. There's his kick. Looking for Chester, and he finds him. Chester took quite a well-judged mark and also copped a little bit for his pains from Chapman, and Chester was beating Chapman, I think, Tony, at this stage.
Well, that was extreme frustration. You saw it there on your screen there. It was Chapman who just thumped Chester. He just couldn't get to him, and it dropped right in his chest. Yes, you're right. It's Chester's going to put it through
a kick.
For his 4th
Another
goal.
4th goal to Chester for St Mary's.
Both fullbacks having their hands full at this stage, and it wouldn't surprise to see any move made here by either coach.
Motlop has it on the left centre wing for Nightcliff. Must be getting very close to the end of the 2nd quarter. There's Motlop, short pass. He was looking for Porter, and Porter couldn't handle it, but he does get a kick away, and he gets his kick away to Davey. Davey, good mark. He could certainly score here for Nightcliff. He's 40-odd metres out, slight angle, usually a very accurate kick for goal. We'll wait on him. Nightcliff trailing by 3 points at this stage. There's Davey's kick. We'll wait for the goal umpire's signal. It looked good to me, and it was good. Goal to Joe Davey. Dying stages of the 2nd quarter. The scores now become Nightcliff go to 8-3, 51 points, leading St Mary's 7-6, 48.
Only 2 minutes to go, and that was certainly a very valuable goal for Joe Davey, who has come into the game in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. His speed and his ability to keep the ball out in front and keep the play moving. Well, here we are back at the centre bounce there. The ball was with Dean Dempsey. Ruckman coming in there to contest it. Coming in, there's Haystratton coming into attack. Attack side, Bickley's gone on to take check side. Capel coming through, very quiet player today, but he's broken through strong, put the ball down in the forward pocket, looking for Andre. Now it's thumped away by Gibson. There it is, Michael Graham goes for a left foot snap, and
superb goal.
It's right through. Well, there must only be 1 minute to go, and as the game's been seesawing all day, very, very close, and with only 1 minute to go, it's Michael Graham of St Mary's who's thumped it through. It's his second goal for the day, and Nightcliff 8-3, trailing St Mary's 8-6, only 3 points difference.
Right, St Mary's have now regained the lead by 3 points, 8-6 to 8-3, following upon that very brilliant opportunist goal by Michael Graham. They're showing his class. That's his second goal for the match. Ball back in the centre. Umpire Dempsey bounced it. Oates gets the tap down behind him, and he gets that away down towards the centre half forward area. Play still proceeding. Bickley trying to pick it up. Right half forward flank for Nightcliff. There's plenty of pressure on here. Half-time siren must be very close. Bickley for Nightcliff has the free. Right half forward flank. Drives it down goalwards. Where's White? He flies. But taken away from him by Greg Perris, who's back on the ground. And he and White contested that mark, and it was Big Perris. He's got a slightly longer pair of arms, I think. And he was able to take that one down. And he's lined up. He's a very prodigious kicker of the ball, this fellow, and he's only 20 or 5 metres out, and he's on a very slight angle, so he should put that. Good heavens. A dreadful mistake by Greg Perris. He's one of the best kickers of the ball in Darwin. That one slid right off the side of the boot. Greg Perris. He's one of the best kickers of the ball in Darwin. That one slid right off the side of the boot. Right, there's Xavier Clark, kick-off now. Driving up towards the centre wing position. That was an excellent kick-off from Xavier Clark, but a strong mark taken by Bickley again, I believe, of Nightcliff. Down he goes. Big kick. Left forward pocket. Pack flies. Nobody's got it. Oh, Davey snaps again. There's the half-time shot. That's it for half-time, and a half-time scores are St Mary's 8-6 to Nightcliff 8-4. Right, here we are for the start of the second half of the 1978-79 NTFL League Grand Final. At half-time, St Mary's held a very narrow 2-point lead, 8-6-54 to Nightcliff 8-4-52, in what so far has been a very dour, hard struggle. Lots of pressure, lots of moves, and both coaches. No.
There's no volume coming through there. Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear that?
Right, on we go. It's Sullivan that has got the ball there. Cable taps the ball over, takes the handball back, and it's Chapman that's going to get in the way. He'll relieving kick on the right foot there over to Roach. Roach has moved out to half-back flank. Graham having moved to centre half forward. It's a strong kick down there, a strong mark taken by Paul Roach on the far wing. Roach now coming back to take his kick. Kicks long. Perris under the ball. Lawrence Rioli will spoil. No, all players seem to miss it there. Ball's tapped through there. It's tried to be picked up there from the Nightcliff players. It's over to Porter. Porter comes through. He lines up. That's Diorio, Mick Diorio, and he offline, and it goes through for 1 point only.
Further point to Nightcliff takes them on to 8 goals 5, trailing St Mary's by 1 point. St Mary's are 8 goals 6-54, Nightcliff 8-5-53. Here we have the kick-off from Xavier Clark, St Mary's full-back, a nice kick, going up towards Saints' left half-back flank. The mark nearly held by Haystratton on the ground, snapped by Alan Oates of Nightcliff, snapping it across. Henderson pushes it in front of him towards Lauritsen for Saints, battling for the ball. Motlop throws himself out on the ground. Peter March picks up for Saints. Drives towards their right half forward flank, looking for Pert Jimmy, but the ball beats them out at bounds, and it's a throw in in between the two grandstands on Saints' right half forward flank. Ruckman go. Michael Graham, Heavens, going for the ball, but cleared for Nightcliff up towards the centre, where Hoffner flies, can't hold it. Rioli drives down for Saints. Michael Graham again has the ball, puts it onto his right boot, kicks goalwards, right forward pocket. Chester's there, marks. Strong mark by Colin Chester for St Mary's. He's kicked 4 goals so far in the game. He's a long way out, however, and he's right on the boundary, a very acute angle. I doubt if he can make the distance. He may make the distance, but the angle may elude him. There's his kick. By heavens, it looks rather good. No, 1 point. Another point to St Mary's, takes them along to 8 goals 7, leading Nightcliff 8 goals 5, so Saints still 2 points in front.
Very strong play by Chester, great body play. He kept his opponent right behind him and ran through and took the easy mark. It's Babatai who's playing in the back pocket, who now kicks off for Nightcliff, goes along looking for Chapman, and Chapman, who's moved out onto the ball, he takes the mark and he'll go back and take a kick. Goes for the long kick once again, down towards Bickley. Bickley coming in over the back, it's punched away by Lauritsen, who's been a tremendous defender all day. Picked up there by Menzel of St Mary's, handballs over to March. March breaks away, familiar style. Kick down there towards the centre half forward position, but there's a strong mark taken by Jimmy Johnson of Nightcliff. Played a very, very steady game today, Johnson. Goes out, brings the ball out onto the wing there, looking for Hoffner. Hoffner against Wilson. It's Sullivan now who leads the ball. Tries to get a handball to Wilson. Wilson, who's gone to centre. He'll try and get the handball over there. No, it's found Bickley. Bickley centre half forward. Goes for the short kick, looking for Diorio. Diorio under it. Patrick Perkins in front. Neither player can mark it. Handball's out to Wilson again. Wilson's kick smothered by Davey. Great play, Davey. And there, I would be surprised, that's out on the full with the umpires on the ball. He's going in to talk to the central umpire that it was out in the full. We'll see whether they can put their decisions together there. Yes, it was Jeff Sullivan who kicked it out. Mick Diorio has it. Number 16 there on your screen. He goes long, not looking for anyone. It's a wobbly old kick. Paris has got the front position. He doesn't throw himself at it. Snaps the left foot, and it's Perkins there as usual in the way. He taps the ball away and he clears. Look, finds Menzel. Menzel now go over to Curry, Choo Curry. He's got March backing him up, but it's Menzel who follows through. Oates has it. He's in all sorts of trouble there. And up, the umpire lets it go. Motlop wheels right around, goes for the short pass, looking for Paul Roach out on the wing all by himself. Roach got a ton of time. Elects to kick long, looking for Paris. Scramble of players there. Xavier Clark puts it on the left foot, clearing kick. And Patrick Perkins underran the ball there. Throws the ball out in front. Curry, Perkins. Up the ball's out of bounds. Over on the boundary with the scoreboard reading, St Mary's 8-7. Leading Nightcliff 8 goals 5, only 2 points in an extremely tight game.
Right, there's the boundary throw in. Nobody gets the tap, but umpire Brimson has found a free to St Mary's top ruckman, Hay Stratton. He'll take the free right in front of the scoreboard. There he goes. Nice long kick down towards St centre half forward position. Jimmy juggles the ball but holds the mark. He's at centre half forward for St Mary's. There he goes. Short pass looking for Chester. Chester goes, can't mark. Michael Graham takes the ball off hands, turns, kicks. 1 goal. But however, in the meantime, umpire Dempsey had awarded a free kick to Colin Chester. So that score does not count. Does not count, and the ball is taken back to Colin Chester of St Mary's, who was tackled too heavily by his opponent, Elkins. And he now lines up for the shot. And it didn't matter. Michael Graham had kicked one that wasn't allowed, but that one by Colin Chester certainly will be. That's his 5th goal for the match. Takes St Mary's along to 9 goals 7. They now lead Nightcliff by 8 points. 9-7 St Mary's, Nightcliff 8-5. Well,
that's what St Mary's have been lacking perhaps in the last 4, 5, 6 games. A spearhead, and Cole Chester's come right into the game with 5 goals. Extremely accurate. He's a 100-goal-a-year player 4 years running down in the Ballarat League. Here it is, centre bounce, Brimson, High Stratton. It's Oates who brings it back to Diorio, who gets the kick away, but umpire Dempsey's found a free around the neck, and Mick Diorio, he'll go back and he'll put Nightcliff into attack. Still a very, very close, tight game. The breeze is favouring the Nightcliff end, though there certainly hasn't been any advantage either in shown by the teams. Diorio going long, wobbly kick, which has been the pattern of the day. Lauritsen in front position, but it's Bickley who's demonstrating with the umpire there, but Decision's been made. Lorison gets it and he kicks out wide to Liddy as usual. Liddy's always on the run. Breaks away. You watch this player take away from Paris. Pace all the way, and he kicks it, trying to find Wanganeen, and he's got him. Yes, great pass, Teddy Liddy. Kevin Wanganeen, who's been very, very damaging in the packs today, shooting out the long handball, setting up many moves for Saints. Number 2, right there in your screen. He'll line up. He's within distance. He's normally along. It'll be a drop punt kick. See whether he can make it. Off the side of the boot. How often we've seen that today. There's no excuse for that in grand finals, and as a matter of fact, that's what loses you the big games. On the full, and it's Elkins that'll come in. Clear long kick there for Nightcliff. Pulling Jimmy flies. Chapman neither can pick it up. Hay Stratton shoots, and he kicks it straight back to the position from when it came. And once again, Nightcliff will kick in. This time Babatai, who's been moved to a permanent back pocket position, standing the ruckman. Babatai, Nichols medalist for 1978-79, had a great season. Comes in, he'll go for the screw punt, and there it is. Coming down long underneath us, Hay Stratton and Oates. They've had a great battle all day. It's March who recovers from the pack, has the ball, can't bring it over, and can't get control of it. On the boot there, and it goes out of bounds.
Right, boundary throw in on the right half forward flank for St Mary's. They're in a tank. They're leading by 8 points. There's the throw in. Ruckman set themselves. Hay Stratton and Oates. Nobody gets a tap, but Menzel picks up for Saints. Drives goalwards. Chester's there somewhere. But it was big Damien Ryan for Saints, I think. No, the mark was not paid. Looks like he had to make. Chester picks up and snaps. A brilliant goal by Colin Chester. Brilliant goal. He certainly, Saints brought him back especially for this match. He was appointed their coach early, beginning of the season. Had to forego that because of another commitment in the Mildura, and he's been brought back especially for the grand final. Saints have not had a specialist full forward for some time. He's now kicked 6 goals, and he's really proving his weight out there this afternoon. So St Mary's go along now to a lead of 14 points. They are leading Nightcliff 10 goals 7 to 8 goals 5. Ball back in the centre. Hay Stratton, nobody gets the bounce. Motlop bursts through for Nightcliff. The quick handball, nobody there. Anderson in the way for St Mary's. Perkins, handball. Wilson, St Mary's. Wilson kicks. March in the centre. Hay Stratton, can't get it. Faulkner on the ground. Tap away. Crawshaw, felled and drives down, and the mark is held there by Bickley of Nightcliff, who's having a very good game. He's around about the true centre half forward. There's his kick. Goalwards. Big kick. White flies. Martin White, Nightcliff full forward.
What a player this year.
Leading NTFL full forward. A great mark, Tony, was it not? From behind the pack. He must kick this goal.
NTFL leading goal kicker this year. Already got 4 goals to his credit.
This should be number 5. Let's wait on it. Difficult angle, but he makes no mistake. Makes no mistake. That is, I think, number 5 for Martin White.
Yes, goal number 5, and a very, very much needed goal for Nightcliff. They move on to 9 goals 5, trailing St Mary's 10 goals 7. The high-flying Martin White, he's certainly an entertaining player, and he's certainly thrilled the crowd here today.
Really having a great game. No two ways about it. Scores: St Mary's 10-7, 67. Leading Nightcliff 9-5, 59, and there's still nothing in it. There's only 8 points in favour of St Mary's. Lead has been seesawing right throughout the match so far, and still far too early to say who's liable to take this big one out. There's the bounce. Crawshaw, tap down. Faulkner on the boot. Liddy's there for St Mary's. Bursts through, kicks down goalwards. Michael Graham's there, can't mark. Wanganeen, grabbed, pushed, and the free.
There we are, that's right there, that's Babatai, who came through with his elbow high, and he was penalised for it.
And Wanganeen looks for Chester, short lead, and sure enough, Chester has the ball. 6 goals already to his credit. And here he is lining up for number 7 for St Mary's, about 50 metres out. Cute slight angle, there's his kick. Hit the post. Deary, deary me. Bad luck for Colin Chester, hit the post.
It certainly would have been nice to have that 7th goal, and would have been a very handy goal for St Mary's, but that's the way it goes.
Well, that takes them along, Tony, to 10 goals, 8, 68 points, leading Nightcliff 9-5, 59 by 9 points.
Babatai coming in to kick out for Nightcliff. Goes for the far side there. Coming in behind is Hoffner. Tries to take the mark. It's St Mary's who recovers. Poon Jimmy handballs to Michael Graham. Graham will break away and shoot for goal. And it looks good. It looks good. The umpire's right in the centre. And there it is. Another goal to St Mary's. They move to 11 goals 8. Nightcliff 9 goals 5. And at this stage, a 2-3 break. This would be the biggest break of the game. And St Mary's, I would say, have had most of the play throughout the game, but they haven't been able to convert. And the big question now is, will Nightcliff be able to come back?
Yes, that was a very good goal there by Michael Graham, an opportunist goal. He's the second one he's done. In fact, he's got 3 for the match so far. He's playing a very fine game. Talented footballer. Centre bounce. Over the head by Crawshaw, but cleared by Saints. Down there's Michael Graham again. Strong mark.
Getting away from Johnson at this stage, Peter.
Yes. He kicks down, looking for Burnt Jimmy, and he finds him. Burnt Jimmy, very acute angle. Right forward pocket, actually between right half forward and the right forward pocket. Fair way out. 45-50 metres and right on the boundary line. We'll see what he does with his kick. Goes goalwards. Will not be accurate. Pack flies. Chester was in front, couldn't hold it. Big pack of players. Menzel picked up in front of the pack. Snapped. Heady, talented play by Menzel, and another goal to St Mary's. Menzel's first for the game, and they've now opening up quite a good break. They go now to 11-8 to Nightcliff. 12-8, I beg your pardon. 12-8 to Nightcliff, 9 goal 5. So to open up a break of 3 goals 3, 21 points in Saints' favour. That's a good break at the stage, Tony.
Yes, a very, very vital break, and it was Menzel's experience that snapped the goal. Well, back to the centre. Will Nightcliff come back? Hay Stratton takes the ball, but it's Crawshaw who gets the second chance to tap it away. Players going through. Ty coming in extremely hard. He's becoming very, very frustrated. But Nightcliff,
can I just get behind at that stage, Tony? Bubba Ty has just been reported by umpire Dempsey for deliberately attacking, I think, Choo Choo Corrie of St Mary's. Corrie went down very heavily, and umpire Dempsey walked over and has taken Ty's number.
Not much they can do about it for 78-79, Peter. He's only got to suffer anything for next year, and of course it's the grand final that means everything to a player. Corrie's okay, comes in, takes his kick. It's Chapman who takes a relieving mark for Nightcliff on their half-back line. I would say from here the tempers will start to flare, because if one side gets away now, they'll be too hard to peg back. Back on there with Paul Roach, number 14 on your screen for Nightcliff. On the centre wing, he'll kick long. Down there looking for David Peris or Alan Oates. Alan Oates had his hands, couldn't hold it. Scramble of players there, takes out Peris, has now got it, shoots for goals, and it's there. Great goal to Greg Peris. Very, very cool, very steady. And that's another goal to Nightcliff. They're coming back 10 goals 5 now, trailing St Mary's 12 goals 8. 2 goals 3 the difference.
Yes, that was a good goal by Greg Peris, Nightcliff's vice-captain, big, burly, strong player, and he made no mistake with that. So Nightcliff are now trailing by 25 points.
It's been St Mary's that have been taking the ball away from the centre for the better part of this quarter, and that's where they've been getting the scores on the board.
Right.
However, back at centre with you, Peter.
I should have said trailing by 15 points, because of St Mary's 12-8, 80, leading Nightcliff 10-5, 65. From the centre bounce, a free found by umpire Brimson. It will go to Hay Stratton, St Mary's top row.
Wilson to centre has been a good move for St Mary's. Nevertheless, it's Hay Stratton who has the ball, kicks long, looking for Chester. Chester's going to fly. Yes, he had his hands, couldn't hold it. Gibson picks it up, but it's Menzel coming through. Can't take the ball with him. Still got possession of it, but it'll be a ball up by umpire Dempsey. Pack of players there forming. They're all spread out. It's only about 30 metres in front of the St Mary's goal. Umpire Dempsey bounces the ball. Crawshaw, Ryan tries to tap it. Motlop has it. Not a good handle, but he's got away with a free push in the back. Very touchy one there by Dempsey, but Mark Motlop, clearing kick for Nightcliff, relieve the pressure. Comes in for his left foot, looking for Hoffner. It's Hoffner and Wilson, but over the back. Big punch there by Hay Stratton. Davey coming in, beautiful pick up, Joe Davey. He'll take off, keeps the ball in front. No, has he found the free? Yes, there's a free kick for a trip given by umpire Frank Crimson. Joe Davey, the mighty flyer for Nightcliff, number 5. Wilson standing the mark. Joe's got a lot of room to move in there. There's no one to kick to. Yes, he's found the short one to Motlop, set it up. Nope, Menzel couldn't get there quick enough. Mark Motlop going back, Menzel standing the mark. Who's he going to kick to? Peris is leading. Peris is out all by himself. Lawrence Rioli didn't see him go. And this could put Nightcliff right into that. Martin White's leading. No, Paris has ignored it. He's going long. If he can kick this ball, it's within his distance. Normal player, perhaps not. It's a good 60-metre kick. Comes in, lines up, goes for the long kick, and it looks good. A great kick, Greg Paris. Great kick, Greg Paris, and that's brought Nightcliff right back into the game. Nightcliff 11 goals 5, trailing St Mary's 12 goals 8. Well, that's the class of a champion. Greg Paris been for a run on the ball there in the second quarter, but he's now gone back to his half-forward flank. Came right across, got away from Rioli. Matter of fact, he may have even moved to centre half-forward.
Right, the ball back in the centre. Nightcliff now trail only by 9 points. 11-5, St Mary's 12-8 from the centre bounce. On St Mary's half-forward flank, players are battling for it. Nobody can pick it up. Leo Roach of Nightcliff is trying very hard, but St Mary's bursts through. There it goes. Bennett has the ball. Chester has the ball rather. Snap passes it across to
Capel.
To Capel, it was who kicked the ball. I was waiting on the result of his kick, and it was only 1 point. St Mary's now lead by 12 points, exactly 2 goals. 12-9 to 11-5. And let's have a look. We'll wait on the kick-off by Nightcliff. Here it comes. Good kick-off too. Up towards St Mary's left half forward. Haystratton couldn't handle the ball. On the ground, pack of players going for it. Nightcliff burst forward. Babatai kicks it down towards centre half forward where Porter goes. Can't hold it. Lauritsen for St Mary's has his kick. Goes off the side of his boot. Cleared towards Ted Liddy on the wing. He's got it. He's had a great game for St Mary's, this boy. Looks for a short pass to Wangadine, but the ball will beat him out of bounds. St Mary's in attack, right half forward flank. They're leading by 10 points. 12-9 St Mary's, 11-5 Nightcliff. There's a throw in. Tapped down on the ground by Oates. Cleared. Centre wing. Sullivan goes with Davey. Players battling. Hoffner couldn't get rid of it. And free kick paid to Liddy of St Mary's. Tackled too heavily. There's Liddy's kick. Wastes no time. Drives towards the goal front. Michael Graham for Saints can't mark. Relieved by Nightcliff. Haystratton elects to punch instead of mark for some queer reason. Graham can't handle it. Bickley comes through for Nightcliff. Clears it up towards the centre. All Roach there gets it nicely away. Left foots it down towards Greg Paris on the left half forward flank for Nightcliff. Paris can't get it. Anderson of Saints tackled very heavily. Umpire Dempsey races in. Free kick to Anderson of Saints. He middles it towards Lauritsen, who has felled pretty heavily after the ball by Porter of Nightcliff, but there's no doubt it's Lauritsen's kick. Umpire Dempsey saying, cool it down, fellas, I'm sure. But there's lots of pressure out there now. Well into the third quarter. Lauritsen down towards Saints centre half forward. Oh, strong mark taken there by Gibson of Nightcliff. And Temper's getting a little frayed. Chapman and Peter March asking questions about each other's ancestry, I've no doubt. But however, umpire Brimson sorting them out. Temper's getting a little frayed. And yes, the free kick's been taken away. Been taken away from Gibson of Nightcliff and given to Peter March of Saints. That's the penalty you pay when you want to argue with umpires, especially in grand finals. March for St Mary's. Bad kick, Peter March, but he's looking for Pert Jimmy perhaps, because that's who it finished up with. And Pert Jimmy's got it in between right half forward and right forward pocket for St Mary's. Let's see what he does with his kick. He'll probably be looking for Chester. He elects to kick a long one towards goal, but it's going to be out of bounds on the full. So a kick into Nightcliff. Right by St Mary's, right behind post. Gibson of Nightcliff will kick in. Waiting for his kick. St Mary's leading by 10 points. 12-9 to Nightcliff, 11-5. There's Gibson's kick. Coming up to Saints' right half forward flank. Big pack flies. Nobody marks. It'll go out of bounds. Out of bounds. St Mary's right half forward flank. Tremendous pressure in this game now. No team able to get a substantial break, although Saints had a good one a while ago, but Nightcliff have come back. That was Menzel. Handballing over to Capel. Nobody's got it. Relieved. Back towards Haystratton, who marks. Centre half forward for St Mary's. Haystratton, their big ruckman. He's a good way out. All 50 metres. moving in for the kick. There it is. Off target. Off target. In fact, did not even make the distance, and it's still in play.
Here we go, it's on, it's on.
There's a couple of players down there also willing to argue with each other. Ryan of Saints, and I couldn't pick up the Nightcliff player, but bit of a flare up there. We'll wait on the umpires. That was rush, yes, that was rush through for a point, I thought it was. So St Mary's now go to an 11-point lead. That will take them on to 12-10, 82, leading Nightcliff 11-5, 71, and we're in the latter stages of the third quarter.
Kick out by Bickley, he moves up there. It's Davey now who's got the run of the ball. He overrun the ball, unfortunately, for Nightcliff. And who has it now? It's Hoffner. Tries to get the ball away to Perez. Liddy's got him. The ball will now go out of bounds right here in front of the grandstand. The Nightcliff backline, very, very tight throughout the year, starting to wilt under the pressure of the St Mary's Rucks and Rovers running through and opening up opportunities. Gibson trying to get possession of the ball. He's grabbed by the St Mary's player in Poon Jimmy. Andre's given away a free. Gibson will take the free kick and no doubt attack up the wing towards the Nightcliff goals. Coming in. Goes for the long kick. Underneath is Oates and Hay Stratton. They've had a magnificent battle. No, it's Ty. Tay takes it off hands. Breaks away on the left foot looking for Crawshaw, but Bubba Ty not having a good day today. He's been under extreme pressure. There's always the adage that the medal winner always finds the grand final games extremely hard, and I think Bubba Ty is finding it very hard. Menzel coming in there for the short kick. A bad kick there by Anderson. But fortunately for Saints, Perkins backing up, clears the kick down towards the centre of the ground. Curry and Paul Roach. Paul Roach being quiet today, but it's Paul Roach who's given away a free to March. March had front position around the neck, and he elects to go along down towards Chester's leading. Chester's got the front position, and yes, no, he wasn't paid the mark. Picked up by Bickley, who's moved down towards the back line. Quick kick there, Peris. Sullivan overruns the ball. Hoffner taps out to Peris. Can Peris grab control? Overruns the ball, the handball's out to Davey, but can't back it up. Liddy gets it, quick kick. And Elkins coming in. If he can get control of the ball, he'll do a quick kick if he's quick enough. No, he goes for the handball, elects for the handball. Scramble of players there, but it goes over the boundary, out of bounds. Umpire Dempsey trying to keep tight control on this very, very game where Timbers are afraid. Good tap down by Hay Stratton to March. Hay Stratton's just about controlled rucks. Coming in there, great mark by Gibson, not paid. It's Michael Graham about to break free. He's got time to steady and shoot. He's done this and it's through.
Yes,
it's through, the big goal with the two big sticks. Very, very valuable goal to St Mary's. St Mary's now moved to 13-10. Nightcliff 11-5, and they've broken away again to that 2-3 advantage, which they had early in this quarter, and this may be sufficient, who knows, to whether Nightcliff can come back like they did a while ago.
Yes, Tony, St Mary's move on now to 13-10, 88 to leading Nightcliff 11-5, 71. That's opened up a 17-point lead. That was an excellent goal by Michael Graham. In fact, that's number 4 for him for the game. Chester has 6 for Saints. Michael Graham has 4. For Nightcliff, White has 5. From the centre bounce, Wilbur Wilson for St Mary's. Kicking down towards centre half forward where Michael Graham goes again, but he was outmarked by Big Johnson that time. Johnson for Nightcliff. Centre half back. There's his kick. Going up towards Nightcliff, centre half forward. Big pack flies. Lauritsen. Beautiful mark. Centre half back over the back of the pack. There's his kick. Looking in the middle. Wanganeen has the ball. And right in the centre. Wanganeen. Short pass. Looking for Sullivan. On the ground. Looking for Menzel, I beg your pardon. Has the ball. He drives it down. There's Capel. March. Capel coming through. March again still trying to control the ball, but they can't get it. Crawshaw. Left foot's up to Paris. But Poon Jimmy bursts through. March is still there. Handball to Liddy, but too big. Gibson, Nightcliff, takes it out over the boundary. Out of bounds. Right half forward flank for St Mary's. Saints are leading by 17 points in the latter stages of the third quarter. 13-10 to 11-5. There's the tap down. Gibson again for Nightcliff. Boots it back, short kick. Elkins for Nightcliff takes the mark. He's on St Mary's right half forward flank, right in front of the grandstands. Elkins kicks up towards the centre of the ground. Oates flies. Anderson. Sullivan picks up for Saints on the ground. Davey handball. Handball to Hoffner. Hoffner kicking down towards Nightcliff centre half forward. Lauritsen flies. Can't handle it. Rioli of Saints picks up. Quick kick. Crawshaw's in the way for Nightcliff. He kicks. Haystratton's in the way. Crawshaw again. Handball. Pure Jimmy drops the ball. Hoffner picks up, and for some queer reason, the free had been given, I think, and Hoffner just simply kicked the ball in between the two grandstands. A very silly thing to do. There was no rhyme or reason in it, but there we are.
That's happened a couple of times within the Nightcliff camp. They've given away vital 15-minute penalties, and they're the things that cost you grand final games, Nightcliff. It's interesting to note here that we didn't mention earlier that Tony Dragon did not take the field with Nightcliff, and they certainly are missing his drive in situations like this. It's usually he's the player that gets the Nightcliff camp moving, and unfortunately because of his sprained ankle, or his damaged ankle, he couldn't take the field.
Yes, it's a great shame for Dragon Tony. He's a very steady and capable, experienced player. Free kick is with Puant Jimmy of Saints on the right centre wing position. Here he goes. Drives down towards the right forward pocket for Saints, where Michael Graham has an incredible mark. He flew, he was out of position, he couldn't possibly have taken it, but in the mid-air he tapped it over with one hand and then was able to grab it with the other. An incredible work by Michael Graham, who is really burning here this afternoon and showing the fans the stack and array of talents that this man has got at his disposal. He's a brilliant footballer. He's kicked 4 goals for Saints. He's lining up now for his 5th, right on the side. That's the siren to end the 3rd quarter, but Michael Graham has a shot for goal to come up. Here he goes, his shot. We'll wait on it. It's right across, I think. So no alteration to the score. At the end of the 3rd quarter, St Mary's in attack constantly. They lead by 17 points. St Mary's 13-10, 88. Nightcliff 11-5, 71 at the end of the 3rd quarter. Some impressions, Tony?
Yes, well, I'd say at this stage it's the St Mary's half-back line that have held out the Nightcliff camp. Rioli, Lauritsen, or perhaps I shouldn't leave out Perkins and Anderson in the fullback position, but they're the players that have stopped the Nightcliff attack. And of course, whilst at the other end of the field, St Mary's have had their rucks and rovers setting up the loose man, and it's the Nightcliff backmen that have wilted. 2 goals 3, it's once again 2 goals 5. That's the biggest margin that's been opened up for the day. And at this stage, if Saints can continue their run, they look like that they may be premiers, and who knows, they may create history, which will be a long time to be broken, take out 5 wins in the 5 competition.
Yes, they've certainly got it right in front of them, Tony. They've already kicked 4. Won 4 premierships so far today, and they are lining up for their 5th, which would be an achievement I would venture to suggest which would never be beaten. Goal scorers for the match so far for St Mary's: Colin Chester has kicked 6, Michael Graham has kicked 4, and 1 each to Menzel, Wilson and Wanganeen. For Nightcliff, White has 5, Greg Perez has 2, Motlop, Diorio and Crawshaw have 1.
Well, don't worry, he's here without doing that to me.
There's the centre bounce to start this last quarter of the league's 1978-79 grand final, and St Mary's are leading by 17 points at the start of the last quarter. 13-10, 88 to Nightcliff 11-5, 71. Indecisive centre bounce, so umpire Dempsey will try again. There we go. Oates flies, tap down on the ground. Wilson for Saints. Big left foot kick down to centre half forward or thereabouts. Nobody can get it. Handball by Ryan to Chester. To Michael Graham, and Michael Graham bangs through his 5th goal for the match, and Saints have scored the first goal in the last quarter in around about 30 seconds flat. And Tony, that's a decisive break.
It certainly is, and what we saw there once again was the Nightcliff defenders unsettled with these players running through. 2 of those lads actually knocked each other over, and this left an open run through for Graham, well shepherded by the big fella Damien Ryan.
Yes, it was a great effort indeed. 5 goals to Michael Graham for the match. 14-10 St Mary's 94, leading Nightcliff 11-5, 71. They've opened up a lead of 23 points. And if Nightcliff are going to get back into this grand final, they've got to do something in a hurry. Very early days, of course, in the last quarter. There's the bounce back at centre. Haystratton flies. Nobody gets the tap. Eventually it goes to ground. Poon Jimmy for Saints driving forward. Sockers it off to ground. Down towards Saints' full forward area. But the ever-cool Faulkner is there. Ball is handballed away. Nightcliff coming through. There it goes. up towards Nightcliff's right half forward flank, where Hoffner flies, can't control the ball, out of bounds in front of the new grandstand, around about through centre wing.
Hoffner's moved to centre half forward, Bickley to full back, Ty to centre, and for Saints, Wilson remains at the centre position.
Yes, there's certainly been lots of changes here this afternoon. Well, from that boundary throw in, it's Wilson of Saints who finally gets it away, driving down, looking for Capel. Capel can't control the ball, and it's out of bounds in between wing and left half forward flank for St Mary's. Boundary throw in, Saints 14-10, Nightcliff 11-5. There's the tap down, but umpire Brimson says that Alan Oates was interfered with by Hay Stratton. Oates gets the free kick. Towards centre half forward for Nightcliff, Greg Perris cannot hold the mark, but Davey picks up and drives goalwards for Nightcliff. Ball on the ground, being bustled after, but there's a free against Anderson of St Mary's for kicking in danger. The free kick will be taken by Crawshaw of Nightcliff, who is 40 odd metres out from goal. Reasonably acute angle. Looks Nightcliff badly need a goal at this stage. Here's Crawshaw, experienced player, but this time he doesn't do the right thing by his team because he has a woeful kick. Didn't take enough time and kicked it out of bounds on the full. So, score remains the same. St Mary's 14-10, leading Nightcliff 11-5. Here's the kick. That's the kick in by Xavier Clark of Saints. Up towards there. Nightcliff's right half forward flank. Greg Perris can't get it away. March is tackled. Quick handball to Ryan. Ryan is tackled. Ball on the ground. Scrimmage. Bubba Ty picks up. Drives goalwards with his left foot. Off target. Out of bounds. Again out of bounds on the full. Xavier Clark again will kick in for St Mary's to relieve the pressure. On the other flank this time, he's looking for Menzel. Finds him. Menzel plays for Norwood in Adelaide. Back especially for the grand final. There's his kick towards centre wing, looking for Hay Stratton. Hay Stratton gets it. Right centre wing. Had a good game in ruck today for St Mary's. Had a great season, in fact. There's a short pass again, looking for Menzel, who played on quickly. Menzel drives Darwin's, looking. Nobody marks. But Graham was there. Wanganeen bustling over the ball. Tries to get it away. Roach there. Paul Roach can't handle it. Capel picks it up well. Turns around. Drives goalwards. Off target. But good play there by Capel nevertheless. Takes St Mary's along to 14-11, 95. Leading Nightcliff 11-5, 71. A lead of 26 points.
There was an example of St Mary's showing their absolute endeavours. They really want to win this one, and the way Cable got past Roach. Well, the play's now moved out there towards the centre position there, where it's Andre's got it. He breaks away. He's looking for a short pass, looking for Kevin Wanganeen, and he's found him. There's the loose man again. I think he was on the ball, setting up the loose man, and this is certainly what's brought the Nightcliff backs undone today. Their rucks and rovers have not been able to maintain the loose ruckman coming through their forward line. Wanganeen, very deliberate. It's certainly within his distance. He's a very apt kick normally. He's lost his Guernsey there, half of it. It's almost off. It's a long kick. It's a good long kick. But it's offline, unfortunately for Saints. And they move to 14 goals 12, 11 goals 5. But they're certainly doing all the attacking in this last quarter. Bickley, who's moved to full back to try and curb Chester, comes in, kicks out, kicks long down towards the centre. Looking for Elkins, but it's Wilson in front. Ty, but Elkins, nope, didn't pay the mark. Could have been paid that. Wanganeen left foot looking for Graham. There's a whole lot of players there in a pack there. Graham has it, tries to spin through, puts it out to Tipalura. Tipalura falls over. That ball comes out now. It's cleared by Faulkner for Nightcliff up towards David Perris. He elects to go play on. 1-2 bounces. Doesn't go for the third, goes for the short one and does a very, very easy pass to Hay Stratton. Not good football. Hay Stratton's kick tries to find Andre Quinjibi. Didn't take the mark clean. It's Wanganeen backing up once again, coming through. Does the short kick. But it's Johnson in front of Graham this time. Couldn't get his kick clean. Ty coming through. Has the front run at the ball. It's him versus Curry. Curry's in front. Lets the play go on. But it's Graham. Once again, it's pace magnificent. And here it is, Capel to shoot for goal. Not a good shot. And it's Gibson in the back pocket who will lead for Nightcliff. Saints certainly running on in this last quarter. Short pass to Oates. Oates has the ball. He'll elect to go down towards Perris or Elkins. Elkins has it. Ryan comes in for the spoil. March has it, but it's off hands March. It's Joe Davey who just says thank you, takes it, goes for his second bounce. Now it goes long down towards Martin White. Will he get over the top of Xavier Clark? And he has. He had the drop on him. He had the drop on him. Xavier Clark, you can't run backwards into the full forward. You must move forward with him. And of course, Martin White just juggled the ball above his head, and he'll line up for his 6th goal. Coming in, number 6. It's a good kick.
Offline,
Slightly offline. A point only, and that was a very, very much needed goal that's gone begging for Nightcliff. They moved to 11 goals 6, trailing St Mary's 14 goals 12, and we're 7 minutes into the last quarter of the grand final.
Yes, that's a 24-point lead to St Mary's at this stage. 4 goals, and it's going to take a power of stopping, I feel. From the kick-off, it's on the left half-forward flank for Nightcliff, but Saints are relieving the pressure. Hayes Stratton with the ball now. Kicks up towards St Mary's right half-forward flank, where we have Tipalora waiting for it. He takes the mark. Going back for his kick, St Mary's 14-12, Nightcliff 11-6. Tipalora, right wing, kicks down. Centre half forward area, Chester has come out of goals, can't mark the ball. It's on the ground. Umpire Brimson, a free has been found. Chester was holding his opponent. There's the kick. That was to Gibson of Nightcliff with the kick. Up it goes towards Greg Pearce. Can't handle it. March picks up for Saints. He can't handle either. On the Corrie was bustling through. Eventually it's Crawshaw for Nightcliff who left foots it away. And players fly. Porter can't control it. Greg Pearce has it for Nightcliff. He steps out of the pack, takes a big boot to Ounceville forward, looking for White, but White's not there. Perkins now has it, running towards the left half forward flank for Nightcliff, looking for Pern Jimmy, and he finds him. Good piece of play. Pern Jimmy a little pass to Hayes Stratton, who's been in just about everything in this second half in particular for St Mary's. He goes towards the centre. Sullivan, left foot for Saints, looks towards Menzel. Menzel has it. Menzel breaks free. Kicks goalwards for St Mary's. Chester's there, flies. Let's see who gets the mark. Chester has been paid the mark. He flew.
Doubtful one?
Oh, well, they both had their hands on it, Tony. I think got a bounce deduction.
Play on.
Anyway, the mark has been paid to Chester of St Mary's, who has already kicked 6 goals. He's on a very acute angle, almost right on the boundary line, 40 metres out. There's his kick. Straight through. Straight through. Goal number 7 for Chester of St Mary's. Goal number 7. And St Mary's move along now to a very commanding position. They've moved on to 15 goals 12. Nightcliff are 11 goals 6. That puts St Mary's exactly 5 goals in front. I believe at this stage that they have won this grand final, Tony.
Well, Chester, a very, very confident player, always lines up very deliberately. Certainly a specialist in the full forward position, and of course with his 7 goals today, he's perhaps may have been the difference between the St Mary's of 2 or 3 games ago and today's game. Yes, Peter, with a commanding lead like this, and we've now, nearly 10 minutes into the quarter, Nightcliff are certainly going to have to find something to come back. At the centre bounce, Dempsey has it. Hayes Stratton, Ryan going with Crawshaw. I'd imagine will be a free. No, they've picked out a free there. It's against Ryan. Pearce is going to take it, and he'll kick long to put Nightcliff into attack. Long raking screw punt come from Gregory Pearce. There it goes down there looking for any player. There was no one there deliberately could find. Porter couldn't get control. White has it, but here it is. Lauritsen coming out as usual, determined, does that clearing kick. Certainly had a great game today, Lauritsen, in the centre half back or the half back position. There's a play, moves on. David Pearce has the ball, but it's pressure from Saints. Won't let Nightcliff break free. Saints now have the ball with the agency of Ryan, who gets it onto the boot. It's Stanley Tipalura who'll take this mark, very strong mark over on the far wing. He'll go back to take his kick. I imagine it'll be a left long kick down, but it's Faulkner on his own will take the mark and relieve for Nightcliff. March coming in, putting him under pressure. Here he comes breaking away. Chris Faulkner coming right around the wing. Clears long, looking for Hoffner, who's moved to centre half forward, but it's Lauritsen. You saw the way that, oh my gosh, it's given against Lauritsen. He had his eye on the ball. Can't say I agree with that decision, umpire Brimson. Nevertheless, Hoffner will take the kick. He goes long down towards looking for Martin White. Players fly. Hayes Stratton in front, but it's Martin White again who came from behind. Hayes Stratton was in front. White was giving away a good 5 or 6 inches against that ruckman, but he still took a very, very strong mark. Number 6 in your screen. Already kicked 5 today. Lines up. No, it's going to
off
be
target again.
offline, through for a point only. And once again, another chance goes begging for Nightcliff to get back into this game.
Yes, they badly needed. That's two that White has missed this quarter, and he's normally very accurate with those. He's kicked 5 for the game, but Nightcliff badly needed the goals that he possibly could have got. But never mind, they haven't got him. St Mary's 15-12, 102, leading Nightcliff 11-7-73. The ball taken away by Sullivan, kicked up towards St Mary's right half forward flank. Tipalura takes the mark. Goes back for his kick. Kicks down towards the forward pocket area on the ground. Nobody has it. It will beat all the players, and it goes out of bounds. Out of bounds in between St Mary's right forward pocket and right half forward, just down past the scoreboard area. St Mary's a very commanding lead. 29-point lead. There's the tap down. Menzel for Saints has it. Handball away. Michael Graham in the area. Picks up. Left foot snap by Graham. This time, however, 1 point only. So St Mary's go along to 15 goals 13, 103. Leading Nightcliff 11 goals 7, 73. A lead of 30 points or exactly 5 goals. And time ticking away now in the last quarter of the league NTFL 78-79 grand final. It does appear that St Mary's do have this one sewn up. Kick off by Gibson of Nightcliff, taken by Faulkner. Faulkner kicking up towards the centre. Greg Perris is lurking there, but nobody gets it. Lauritsen handling the ball, can't control it. Davey can't pick up. Ty, quick handball across to Hoffner. Hoffner goalwards. White's around the area, can't handle that one, however.
And recover.
Normus took a spectacular mark. It's on the ground. Players bustling. Snapshot. Quick snapshot, and that has been played as a goal. I believe that was
Ricky Walter. Yes,
I
he's
think,
only just come
yes,
on the
Walter
ground.
Of Nightcliff, number 15. Popped it through for a badly needed goal to Nightcliff, and that takes them along, I think, to 13 goals 7 to St Mary's 15-3. So they now trail. The scoreboard hasn't been altered as yet, but they're about to change it now. They now trail St Mary's by 24 points, exactly 4 goals, and they still have a long way to go. And time is ticking away. What have we got left, Tony? About 6 or 7 minutes?
13 minutes into the quarter.
Sorry?
13 minutes have gone into the quarter.
30 minutes have gone, so time is running out in this last quarter. Back at the centre bounce. And a free paid to Haystratton of St Mary's. There's Haystratton's kick. Going goalwards. On the ground, Chester's there, battling for it. It's Menzel, it picks up, left puts it away, and there's March. March accepted that little pass, which must have been 10.01 metres, but never mind. The umpire has paid it, and that's the main thing. Now March is about 40 metres out. He's almost dead in front, and a goal here would make it very, very difficult indeed.
Plenty of advice from Tipalura.
Let's wait on it. The umpire's still trying to make his mind up, but eventually he says it's 1 point only, chaps, so there we are. But that takes Saints along now to 15-14 and Nightcliff 12-7, so a very comfortable lead to Saints at this stage. From the kick-off, Nightcliff back, but Menzel's in the way again. He's had a great game for St Mary's. Menzel, handball to Graham. Graham, handball to Wanganeen. Wanganeen turns, kicks, through goal.
That's a seal.
Second goal to Kevin Wanganeen, and that's how easy it can be, Tony, and I would think that wraps it up.
Once again, it's the loose men coming through. I know I've been harping on this throughout the game, but that's where St Mary's have gained the ascendancy by their rucks and rovers running through their forward line, and they've just had the Nightcliff half-back line under so much pressure they just can't pick up 2 men all the time. And of course, there you see it on the scoreboard, 16-14, 12 goals 7, and it's a break of 4 goals 7, which should be sufficient to enable St Mary's to run out winners in the 78-79 grand final.
Yes, well, that's now a break of just over 5 goals, Tony, and that's going to be too much, I think, at this stage, with only a few minutes left to go. And both teams are still running on with plenty of spirit and plenty of fitness, so there's certainly there's no weakenings out there, that's for sure.
There's still about at least another 10 to 12, 13 minutes to go.
So there's anything can still happen yet, but it does appear that Saints' lead will be good enough. There's the centre bounce. Haystratton goes with Oates. Haystratton a tap down on the ground. Wanganeen is thrown, but no free. Stucks on the mill, and we'll have another bounce. 16-14, St Mary's leading Nightcliff 12 goals 7. There's a good bounce by umpire Dempsey, but he's in the way. Wilson grabs it for Saints, snaps it down, but Faulkner there for Nightcliff had a great game in the back lines for them today. On the ground, Faulkner can't clear and he's held, and we'll have yet another bounce. Umpire Dempsey, there it goes. Davey goes with Wanganeen. Capel picks up for St Mary's, kicks goalwards. Nobody there at all.
Bounce in.
Bounce.
Yes.
Goal. Good heavens. Well, everything, they can't do a thing wrong now at this stage, Tony. Capel, his first goal for the match, and there wasn't, Chester was out, and the Nightcliff backs were out, there was nobody there, and it bounced through for the easiest of goals. 17-14 St Mary's, leading Nightcliff 12-7.
Well, that resulted from the determination there of the St Mary's players, particularly back here where we saw the centre bounce. And once again, Hay Stratton was certainly showing his strength today. He's had the ball set up there for the smaller men, and they took the ball away where Capel capitalised on his pace and put it through for a goal. Back here at the centre with umpire Dean Dempsey. Hay Stratton, who's done most of the work today. Ryan spent a lot of time in the pocket. Comes in now in opposition to Oates. Bad bounce. Who's going to be there first? Poor and Jimmy there, Andre. Paul Roach overruns the ball. Has not had a good game today. Liddy gets in, handballs. Poor and Jimmy's pace again, but no. Paris, great pick up there. Can't get control of it. Bodies there moving extremely hard, meeting each other hard. This is what it's all about in grand finals. There it is right in front of us. Coming in there, Hay Stratton and Oates working each other over. But it's Liddy breaks away, gets the long kick down towards there, but it's Gibson who'll take the mark. Very, very strong mark against Michael Graham to relief for Nightcliff. Picked up by Leo Roach. He throws the ball back to Gibson. Derek Gibson plays with the Safa League in South Australia. Coming in to take his kick. He'll go along towards the centre. No one who is there. Wilbur Wilson versus Ty, and it's Wilson who'll take the mark. Yes, a great mark there, Wilbur Wilson. It was right there in front of your eyes. Experience from playing league football in Central Districts. Suffering perhaps slightly from cramp there. He's certainly done a lot of work today. He goes on his usual left foot. Breaks away, which he shouldn't be allowed to do. He goes long, looking for the three Nightcliff players in front. They've muffed it. Roach recovers, handballs to Walters. Walters has it, tries to break. He finally does break clear. Looks for a short pass. Beautiful pass to Porter. Porter takes it on his chest. Moving the ball down forward. All Saints players appear to be, Nightcliff players appear to be covered. Coming in there, it's Ryan over the back. It's White. White's running through. He's had a great game, Martin White, today. Sullivan, short pass out to Liddy. Saints always able to find the loose man when under pressure. And this has been a telling factor all day. Goes in hard to Menzel. Menzel over the back. No, March not paid. Pushes the ball out to March. Once again, always pushing the ball out. He gets caught. Handballs high. Roach is underneath. Taps it over to Davey. Davey will push it forward to Ty. Ty can't get hold of it. And it's back once again to Saints running through with sheer strength. Nope. Menzel couldn't get control. But here it is March. Handballs to Liddy. Liddy goes for the short pass towards the boundary, where there'll be a boundary throw-in. Hay Stratton coming up there. I would say he's done nearly 3/4 of the ruck work all day, as has Oates. They'll be working each other over. Oates gets the tap, beautiful tap out to Ty. Breaks clear now. Gets it on his boot, goes long. Martin White coming in from behind. Will he get up there in time? Had his hands on it. Over to Nightcliff player who's got the couldn't get control once again, and it's gone into a pack. And umpire Dempsey has found a free. Yes, he's found a free to.
Not too sure.
I don't even think the players know who's got the free. We signalled time on.
Well, we're trying to sort it out. He's looks like he might have even decided to bounce it now. The Saints player that he's going to give it to is a bit winded. So we can't pick that one up from this range. I beg your pardon. It's a Nightcliff player who is winded.
Yeah, Walters.
Walter, that's right. He was in the thick of it down there. And
well,
it'll go to the nearest Nightcliff player, and it's
That's
White.
Martin White.
White.
Wasn't that fortunate?
Good heavens. Happens to be the specialist full forward.
That's a sign of good football. He got in alongside him.
Missed that one too, I think. No, got it through.
He's got it.
Goal to White. That is his 6th for the game. Takes Nightcliff along to 13 goals 7, and St Mary's now lead by 31 points starting.
Martin White's personal tally, 6 goals 3.
6 goals 3, yes. So the scoreboard shows St Mary's 17-14, 116, leading Nightcliff 13-7, 85, and that's a lead of 31 points. Just over 5 goals. Time is ticking away.
5 minutes to go.
5 minutes to go in this grand final, and St Mary's have a lead of 31 points. There's the centre bounce. Hay Stratton on the ground. Ty there. Can't control it. Free, however, given to Ty for interference. Right in the exact centre of the ground. So Ty to put Nightcliff into attack once more. With time running out. Drop kick by Ty. Down towards the full forward area. Crawshaw, I believe. Yes, it is Crawshaw. Takes the mark unaided. Uncontested, I should say, and he could well post another major here for Nightcliff. He's only 35, 40 metres out, almost dead in front. He's usually a very accurate kick. We'll wait on it. Looks to be no problems.
Looks good. No, just a side.
No, missed it. Swung off at the last minute, and Nightcliff could have badly done with that goal. That brings the score now to St Mary's 17-14, 116, leading Nightcliff 13-8, 86. So their lead 30 points, exactly 5 goals. St Mary's in attack. Up to their right half forward flank. Tipalura there can't mark the ball. It will go out of bounds. Out of bounds, around about right centre wing. And time running out. There's the throw in. Haystratton the notes. Nobody gets it. Ty sharks it from behind. Turns on his left boot, but Perkins in the way. Motlop picks up for Nightcliff. Short pass to Greg Perris, who accepts it gratefully. He's in the centre of the ground. This man has a prodigious kick. Could go right down towards the full forward area. There's one of his big boomers. Down towards the left forward pocket. White is there and flies, but just can't quite handle it. On the ground. Anderson. Kick by Porter. On the ground, still players still battling for it. And 3 Saints players there to Hoffner of Nightcliff, and a little pass across to Xavier Clark, who will relieve the pressure for Saints. He tries a short one to Menzel. Doesn't quite come off. It's on the ground. Menzel's still battling, and he does pick up. Has a run, 1 bounce on the boot towards the right half forward flank. Perkins is around the area, but so is Davey and Elkins for Nightcliff, and Elkins relieves. Drives in the middle. Oates is there, takes the mark. Hand pass to Motlop, who drops it. On the ground, scramble. And eventually umpire Brimson says, it better be a bounce, chaps.
Umpire Wanganeen offering the umpire a bit of advice there, Peter. Brimson comes in for the bounce for the ball. Oates versus Haystratton has been the pattern all day. Picked up there, Roach can't handle it. Fumbling bad there today. Capel's got it, he will now be ready to break away. Gets the long kick down there, but it's Chris Faulkner all by himself. Take an easy chest mark, unmarked, and he'll bring the ball away for Nightcliff down towards. He's handballed over to Bickley. Bickley now also clear. Players starting to slow down. The pace is starting to tell. And there's a big strong mark there taken by Lauritsen. Right on your screen there, great camera work. And this player has dominated the half-back line today. Lauritsen coming in, Jeff Sullivan there in front of him. Lauritsen going for the long kick over towards the boundary. May go out on the full. Yes, it goes out on the full, right over in front of the new Hunter Harrison grandstand. And Joe Davey has the ball, and he'll put Nightcliff into attack in these very, very dying stages. It's a losing job at this stage for Nightcliff. Goes in high, Hoffner, Martin White running with him, but look, Hoffner, yes, no, the umpire pays it on. And what has umpire Prince?
He's given a penalty against him for a throw.
Against him for a throw, was it? And looks like it'll be Haystratton, a man who's covered a lot of ground today. He's been a tremendous worker for the Saints camp. Getting a bit of advice there from Patrick Perkins, who's also been a great player. In comes Haystratton, lining up, taking his time. It's good football in these dying stages. Goes long. Who's there? Ryan tries to tap. It's Liddy. Liddy's got the run. He'll handball over to Graham. Graham with his pace, he'll break away. Familiar back of number 17. He goes long, and it looks like it can't get there. Bickley's thrown the ball out in front, and he's socketed it through for a point to St Mary's, and they move to 17 goals, 15, accounting for Nightcliff in the 1978-79 grand final, 13 goals, 8.
Yes, that would certainly indicate that Saints have got this one in the bag. It's 17-15, 117. Nightcliff 13-8. Motlop of Nightcliff has the ball now in their back lines. Chester on the mark. 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go for the final siren. So St Mary's, in fact, have made history here this afternoon at Gardens Oval. They had 5 teams in the 5 grand finals, which itself was a new record, and they have won all 5 grand finals. That is an incredible achievement, and I don't believe that it may be equal. It'll certainly never be excelled. I doubt if it would ever be equaled again. So there we have it. So, Nightcliff driving forward. Time ticking away now very rapidly indeed. It's on Nightcliff half forward. Well, there we have it. There we have it. St Mary's, the winners of the League Grand Final against Nightcliff. The final scores, just repeating them. St Mary's 17-15, 117, defeating Nightcliff 13-8, 86 by 31 points, and there's no doubt that they were the better team on the day. In the first half, Tony was fairly neutral, but in the second half, there's no doubt the Saints were clearly superior.
Yes, I agree there. In fact, I thought Saints had the majority of the play all day, quickly running through best players, not necessarily in order. Lauritsen at centre half back played a very, very strong game. Whether he was either taking strong marks or at least punching the ball away and following it through, great game. Hay Stratton, possibly he might have even been best on ground, but he beat Oates and Crawshaw for most of the day, and he certainly put in a great game. Perkins in the back pocket, another great game from this lad. He's a very, very underrated player, Patrick Perkins, and he ran hard all day, running past, even running through the half-back line to take the kick. Liddy in the opening quarter, tremendous. He gave them a lot of drive, and he must get a mention, as must Wilson and Graham. These two, Wilson when moved to centre, it was a good move by Rosetto. He opened up a lot of attacks. Graham for his 5 goals too. Wanganeen did a lot of work around the ground, and of course you can't forget Chester. 7 goals, 3 is a great effort.
For Nightcliff, Tony, White, of course, with his 6 goals. Johnston played well. Faulkner, Greg Perris, Motlop all had good games. Elkins around the place. Roach, both Roach, Oates, a good captain's game. Crawshaw sided too from time to time. Hoffner, but all in all, it was just not Nightcliff's day today. So there we have it. That's it. The result of the League 1978-79 NTFL Grand Final. St Mary's the victors by 31 points. 17-15, 117, defeating Nightcliff 13-8, 85, and 86 rather, and they won all 5 grand finals. That's it from Gardens Oval.